All right, so we're going to build a pipeline here from Ready Player Me, exporting our avatar. And when we download from Ready Player Me, it comes in a format that isn't super usable in a lot of different softwares like Unreal and Maya. It comes in a .glb file. So we're going to convert it to a format that's a little bit more portable, an FBX file, which we'll be using a lot this semester. So I've already created an avatar here over in Ready Player Me. When you're ready to download, you can click on the little hamburger icon and go to download avatar.glb. So let's do that. Let's choose to save it somewhere. I'm going to call this Ready Player Me avatar 01. Sure. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to open up Blender. Blender may be one of the 3D softwares that you want to use, or at least some of you want to use. That's perfectly fine software. It's not something I have a ton of knowledge in, but it natively accepts GLB files, so we don't have to deal with any plugins or anything like that we would with other software. So we're going to use Blender as our conversion software for the GLBs. So, you know, this may be the only time that you use Blender. It's a little silly that we're using this full program to do this conversion, but what are you going to do? Okay, so I'm going to delete all the extra stuff in the scene here. You can just hold down left click, select, and then hit the delete key on your keyboard. We have a camera in here. I'm going to delete that. In all 3D softwares, there's an outliner up here in the top. Outliner, scene view. It's called different things with different software. I'm just deleting everything in here. I don't want any of that. And then I'm going to go to File, Import, a GLB, or a GLTF 2.0. That's a GLB end .gltf. Import GLB. I'm going to browse to wherever I put that at. It's in my downloads folder. There it is. Ready Player Me avatar. Import. Okay, there we go. And you can see that she came with a skeleton or rig or an armature. Depending on the software, it's called different things. Let's see, she has let's see if I can select it here. Yeah, she has a joint system inside of her body that's going to drive the skin. This is already hooked up for you. In Blender, these little icons up top here on the top right, these allow you to switch between a wireframe view, a solid shaded view, and a textured view. So I'm going to get back into solid shaded. And actually, if we want to see our textures here, let's just go to viewport shading, which is the third one. Click. Or it's the fourth one. See? I don't know Blender too well. There we go, the fourth one. Okay, she may be a little dark because we don't have any lights in the scene or anything like that. That's absolutely fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, so next thing, we got to export this. So I'm going to go up to File, Export, FBX. File, Export, FBX. We're going to get a menu pop up here, and we want to change a couple things here. We want to change the path mode to copy, and we want to click this little box icon that's gray right now. This will copy the textures. Okay, choose where I want to save it to, what I want to call it. Just call it Ready Player Me Avatar, FBX. Good, good, good. Everything else is good. Export. Cool. That should be exported now. And just to show you that it's working, I'm going to try to open it up in Maya, which we couldn't do when it was a GLB file. You don't need to preview this in Maya if you're just trying to get it into Mixamo. I'm just showing you compatibility here. Where is my stuff? There we go. Downloads folder. FBX. Okay. It's a little bit of a mess of a joint system here. They just need to be resized, but that's another thing. You may notice that it's gray right now. It's because shading is turned off by default in Maya. You could always turn hardware texturing on right here. There, she works. All right, so let's go to Mixamo. And in Mixamo, we can upload our character, select file, browse to wherever you save that FBX file. Right here. Upload, it might take a second. And there she is. Click next. Because this character already had a skeleton, we didn't have to use Mixamo's auto rigger. It just interpreted the existing skeleton and adapted it. So here you go. From here, for your assignment, you can screen record. I would also download it because, again, Mixamo does not save your characters. It's kind of a one at a time sort of thing. So if you want to save your avatar with the motion capture on it, download it. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it again. So I'm going to show you a alternative here really quick. I guess it's not an alternative so much as if you have an avatar that doesn't have a skeleton, what happens then? So I'm just going to create one really quick. You don't need to see that. Let me call this avatar no skell. Okay, same thing. So since it doesn't have a skeleton, that means that we have to go through a process called rigging, which is something we're going to do a lot in this class. In the beginning here, we're just going to use auto riggers, website-based auto riggers, software-based auto riggers after that. But today we're just going to use, or at least this week, we're just going to use Mixamo's auto rigger. So here I just brought this character back into Maya, and she doesn't have a skeleton. I took it off. So, you see she's individual pieces that aren't hooked up to a skeleton anymore. So if I was to import this into Mixamo again, or a different character, without a skeleton, Mixamo is going to recognize that and say, hey, you need to rig this character. And it does. So it asks us to orient the character face on, which it is. Prefers T-pose, but A-pose will work okay. Then we have to drag these little markers to the positions on the body, which is pretty easy to do. Put the knees where the knees are. Assuming your character is symmetrical, you can always say no symmetry. And you can reduce the complexity of the skeleton as well. The groin right there. Click next. Depending on the complexity of your character, the density of the mesh, this could take a minute, but this should be fairly quick. And then once this is done, Mixamo, the website, has auto-rigged the mesh. And it's never going to be as good as a custom mesh or a custom rig, but these auto riggers are definitely improving in their quality. And I mean, we made it like 30 seconds for this to happen. Rigging this manually, you're looking at a long time. Click next, next, and now I have the same thing. So that's how we bring in an avatar from Ready Player Me to Blender to convert the GLB to FBX, and then into Mixamo to apply the animation to it. And also I showed you how to do an avatar that didn't come with a rig already, which is something we're going to have a lot of going forward. Okay? Hope that's pretty clear for you.